With Lucy Greer from Greer's Markets. Classic chili is the dish title. Tell us about this dish, Lucy.
So we always have at our office during October a chili cook-off and a pumpkin carving contest, and some people decorate the pumpkins, and I thought, ooh, I better get to work on my chili recipe. I've never won the chili cook-off.
You never did?
No.
Did you have a place?
I don't know. I don't know if we had places. I think it was just like one and done. But so I thought, okay, I know. I'm like, oh, this is depressing. So I was like, let me just get to work on this. So I was like, let me just put together just a classic chili, and it's super simple. And everybody eats chili this time of year, and it's inexpensive to make, and it feeds a bunch of people. So I thought with the weather getting a little bit cooler out, we could get to work on one.
Well, let's do it. What do we need to do to start the process?
Okay, so I put 1 pound of, I'm using ground sirloin in here.
Okay.
And I just have it over medium heat. And you could, of course, do all beef, or you can make turkey chili. Today, we're going to use a combination of ground beef and sausage, because who doesn't love
That's true.
sausage?
Those are all meats that I know I'm a big fan of.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And like I said, I started out with ground sirloin, which is 90% lean. So it's not going to give us a ton of fat, but we're going to get a little bit of fat from our sausage. And I'm also going to pour in 1 bag of seasoning blend. You just get this in the frozen food department, and it's red bell peppers and green and onions and a little bit of celery. So it's already chopped up, ready to go for you. And I'm also going to add 1 pound of just whatever pork sausage you like. You could use Conecuh. I'm just using, you know, Jimmy Dean. You could use Tennessee Pride, whatever. And it's always important to, of course, use good quality ingredients when you're cooking, and especially your meat. And like I mentioned before, our meat that we're using today is ground sirloin, and I just got that, of course, at Greer's in the market. And all of our stores still grind their own beef.
Okay.
So
that makes it great quality.
Yeah, it's great quality. And a little interesting tip, you know, when you buy ground beef and it might be in the fridge a couple of days, and then you put it in the pot and it may be not as bright red on the inside, that doesn't mean anything. The reason that it's always bright red on the outside is that when the oxygen hits this pigment in the meat, it turns the bright red. And so the inside of the meat, once we put it in the package, doesn't have any oxygen to it. So if it's slightly brown on the inside and the outside is still bright red, then it's completely fine. It just hasn't gotten any oxygen to it.
I love how you can educate me on this stuff. I feel like I learned something when I come in here in the kitchen with you, Lucy.
Well, and what's nice too is, like I said, all of our stores still have people cutting meat back there, so there's always somebody in there that you can go to, ask questions, ask for specific things. If you don't see exactly what you want out in the case, a specific cut of meat or a specific size of steak, then just a lot of them have bells, you know, ring the bell or get their attention.
A butcher right
yeah,
there.
we got a butcher right there, and people to answer your questions. So it's just a huge point of difference for us. People just love our stores, and one of their favorite things is the meat department. So I would love for everyone to stop in and see one of our awesome butchers.
Yeah, you got a big selection of meat. You got really a big selection of everything going on at Greer's.
Yes.
Anything new happening there lately since the last time we got to chat with you?
We are always doing something new. We have our wine club that is always going on.
Ooh.
So, and we also have a cheese of the month. Of course, now it's always fall outside in the stores. I just stopped by our Dauphin Street store on the way here to grab a couple of things, and we had mums out front. So the fall just makes me happy. But if you go on our website, greers.com, you can sign up for our email blast that keeps you informed of everything that's going on, and you can sign up for our wine club, like I mentioned before. We have the absolute best prices in town on wine and beer and really everything across the store. And what's nice too is that we're always willing to get in any item that we don't see in the store. One of our favorite things to do is receive customer requests, and that way we can order it in for you. So if you ever don't see something that you're looking for in our stores, please let us know, because we'll do our absolute best to get it for you.
You guys always do. When we come back later, I know we got 2 more segments with you this hour. What are we going to be doing next?
Okay, we're going to keep adding our ingredients for our chili, which is not too many more, and we'll keep talking about what's going on at Greer's.
I love it. Thanks, Lucy.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that. Yeah, if you've not been to Greer's, you're missing out. They got it all. Greer's.com is the website. We'll link that on our website, fox10tv.com, right under the Studio 10 tab. We'll check back in with Lucy in just a little bit.
And we are back in the kitchen with the Lucy Greer, working on our classic chili. And of course, we've been talking about the temperatures are going down, so it's like the perfect, easy recipe for a family. You can eat on for probably like 2 days or so.
Yeah, exactly.
My favorite is taco soup.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my easy go-to type of recipe, but this seems pretty easy too. So tell us what we're working on this segment.
You're right, it is easy. So what we have in this pot, we started with 1 pound. I use ground sirloin, freshly ground beef from our markets, and then I added a pound of pork sausage. I just used the bulk sausage, but you could totally slice up any smoked sausage and put it in here.
I've never done sausage with chili, so that's...
And it's funny, it gives it a really great flavor, but you're not like, oh, there's
not
sausage
overwhelming.
in here.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
not at all. So
Okay.
it's really just kind of an extra layer of flavor.
Okay.
And then I put in 1 10-ounce bag of frozen seasoning blend, which I love to just keep in my freezer just because it's so quick and easy.
Yeah.
It has red and green bell peppers and onions and a little bit of celery. Or you could, of course, just chop up, you know, any fresh peppers and onions that you had on hand. So now I'm just going to do a little shortcut here with some squeezed chopped garlic.
Love garlic. Oh my God, it smells so good.
Oh, it does. That does just smell so
Love
good
garlic.
right then. So what I did, I cooked out most of the fat. I just let it cook. Or if there was too much, if you weren't using ground sirloin and your ground beef had a little bit more fat in it, you could definitely strain it out.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and now we're going to add in all of our seasonings.
Okay.
So I have a teaspoon of brown sugar, which is just going to give it a hint. It's not going to be a sweet chili. We have a tablespoon and a half of chili powder. Some cumin, a little bit of salt, and also some black pepper and some oregano.
Okay.
So a lot of people, you know, when you're making tacos or chili or something like that, you know, you can buy one of those packets, which is completely
Like the pre-seasoned type thing? Okay.
But, you know, I just always have these seasonings in my pantry, and a lot of other people do too. So it's kind of fun to mix up your own seasoning blends.
Smells are coming together.
I know. So why I added the spices in here before I add everything else is I just want the spices to have a chance to hit the heat direct and just wake up their flavors a little bit.
And I loved how it already kind of smelt like there was so much flavor. I guess the sausage kind of did that, and now it's just kind of coming alive.
Yes, so we're just going to mix that in, and then you can use any combination of beans that you want. I am using the light red kidney beans and the pinto beans today.
Okay.
So I just got 1 can of each, and I put them in here, and I rinsed them off, drained them and rinsed them off. And then I have a big can of tomato sauce and a small can of, these are diced tomatoes.
Okay.
So I like the petite diced tomatoes. They're just a little bit smaller diced, but you know, whatever you have. So Michael was asking what was going on earlier at Greer's, and I forgot one of our biggest things that we do during the fall, which is starting to happen, is our partnership with the Boy Scouts. We do scouting for food. You know, I mean, our country and our community is so giving all year round, but of course during the holidays, everybody, it's just like ramps up. You know, there's so many opportunities to give. So we love to partner with the Boy Scouts, and what they do is they take grocery bags to a lot of different neighborhoods and leave them at the houses. So if you get one at your house, you can just, you know, of course, put any non-perishable food items in there, and then they'll come back and collect it.
Okay.
That's happening this weekend. If you don't get one at your house, all of our Greer's stores in the county are collection points.
Okay.
So we're going to have big bins, and the Boy Scouts will be at the stores. So anytime, you know, starting now for the next couple weeks, you can take stuff by. So the Boy Scouts do an awesome job every year of getting this food out to the community. So we love to partner with them. So it's Scouting for Food is what it's called.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about that because we have some more questions with Michael. He's going to continue cooking this up with you, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But let's check in with Michael right now for some weather.
Back in our Studio 10 kitchen, you know it's Wednesday. You know that means Lucy Greer. She's back here from GREER'S Markets, finishing up the classic chili. We made a lot of progress on this.
Yes, we did. It kind of looks like spaghetti at this point, but
It
watch
really
this.
does. What are you adding? What is this?
We're adding our beans. So our final step here with our chili is I'm using kidney beans and pinto beans.
Okay.
But you could use whatever combination you wanted. So I just took 2 cans of those. I just rinsed it off and drained them. So we had our beef and our pork, and we spiced it up with all of our spices. We have some peppers and onions in there and tomato sauce, and chili is really inexpensive to make. It makes a lot, and it's super simple.
And it warms you up when it's cold.
Yes.
That's important.
Exactly. It freezes really well, so if you're a 1 or 2 person home and you can't eat it all, then you could definitely take some of it and freeze it, or you could take it for lunch during the week. So it's really versatile, and maybe I'll win the chili cook-off at work this year. I doubt it,
They
but I'll try.
They have the whole Ricky Bobby mentality. If you're not first, you're last. They don't have any places, which I thought was terrible, because you would have at least gotten 2nd or 3rd. I know you
Hopefully I would have.
But you deserve to be the winner.
Thanks. I'm going to try again.
Now, you wanted to mention something regarding the Boy Scouts, right?
Yes.
Something's going on with them.
Yes, like I mentioned earlier with Asha, we every year do Scouting for Food with the Boy Scouts, and they do an awesome job distributing food throughout the community. So our part in it is we are drop-off locations for non-perishable food items. If you do not receive a grocery bag at your doorstep that the Boy Scouts drop off, that's okay. If you do, fill it up and put it back on your doorstep. But if you don't, then you can come by one of our stores. We have big bins. You can, of course, bring anything that's in your pantry. You can come and shop in the store. And all this is going on up until November 2nd. And they also accept donations. So you can also
that's
do
next
that.
Friday.
Yep, so you have this weekend, if you're out running errands, you can just drop some stuff by. So we love that partnership with the Boy Scouts. And like I mentioned, for us, it just means, fall. So we do that big thing with the Boy Scouts this year, and followed up by lots of other giving opportunities that we have during November and December that we love to do.
Well, that's awesome, Lucy. And of course, I always get excited whenever I film for Joe and it's on a Wednesday and I get to come in here to the kitchen with you, because we always get something good out of the deal. And people can get all the ingredients for this at GREER'S, right?
Yes, they can shop online. They don't even have to go inside for it. So GREER'S.com/shop. You can get it delivered or pick it up at the store, or just stop in and see us.
I love it. Always a pleasure, Lucy. Thanks a lot.
Thank
and we'll put
you.
that info on our website, fox10tv.com, under the Studio 10 tab. Asha and I are going to be back to finish up this edition of Studio 10 next.